Hello, everybody. This is Justin from Breakout Capital Ventures. It is Saturday, 24th of January, 2026. We had a quite remarkable week on the markets last week. I think loads of stocks have sort of come into play. And as I said before, I think early part of January, probably end of December, for me, resource stocks are where the action is going to take place throughout all of 2026. I think it's just going to be the most amazing year that we've ever had for small cap shares. So, well, for those in the resource sector, and in particular, I think that we've seen the producing miners, they've had absolutely stellar runs, but the explorers, particularly the junior ones, the majority haven't moved, and the disparity between the two prices is astronomical, and I'm expecting that to close. And I think that's, we started to see a bit of that happen during the course of this week, but I think, once the retail punters really get on board, I think we're going to see some absolutely stellar rises in some of these shares. So first one I'm going to start with today is URU, and this one here, we've called that absolutely spot on again. We called that at 304 to these 12.4 up to 15.1, absolutely bang on. We've had a bit of a pullback. The company's recently had a capital raise at 7p, and you can get in at 7p. That's brilliant, isn't it? So, for those who are looking to get in or looking to do some research on the company, this one here, capital raised at 7 pence. That's the same as the people, in the market. They've, the big players, they bought at 7p. You can get in at 7p. So, well worth doing some research. And it's a nickel project. It's quite a big one from memory. I did an ultimate breakout of that dream where he talks about the technicals. You can search for that on our YouTube page. But where do I think that's heading? Well, we've had that first sort of wave there up to 12.4. I think we just went up to about 13 pence. We've had a bit of a pullback. Obviously, they've raised capital, so that's great. There's potentially no risk of further capital raise or dilution at short term, medium term, fingers crossed. No guarantees, of course. But so where do I think that's heading? Well, I think it's gearing up for another move to the upside here. So where do I think that's heading? Well, we've had our wave one. We've had a pullback, and I think, we've consolidated for long enough now. So I'm expecting this to move in the relatively short term. And what we need to do, we need to break and hold above about 11 pence. If we get a close above that, that should activate this red box up here. And I've made it an extended box because we're in a bull market. So we should be hitting the top of these boxes. But let's play it safe. The bottom of that box is 18.7 pence. That's well over a bag from where we are today. The middle of the box, which, even in normal circumstances, you would expect the middle of that box there, the 21.8. So that would be 2 bags. But if we hit the top of that box and maybe higher, that's 26 pence. That's a 2-3 bags, isn't it? So URU, it's really good. And I'm just going to share this tab here, which is the nickel price. And for those who remember, there was an absolute monster spike. I think somebody got closed out with their short position, but back in 2022, and it shot all the way up to 5,600. I mean, just outrageous. There's a weekly chart. But I've got that blue box reversal zone down there. So we should get a couple of ways at least to the upside from that 1,405. We're currently, we tagged 1925. I'm expecting this to go to 2,050 to 2,260. But then once we've done that, then, I think we'll probably see a bit of consolidation there, but I think it'll go again. And if I'm uber bullish, that sort of sets a bit of a precedent there. So, one would suspect that we get another wave, and, it could go to this red box here at 6,353 up to 7,737, even 9,497. This is a metal, but it does move really, really well. So once it gets going, as you can see there, it's had some massive daily runs. So, well worth doing some research on URU. As I say, there's a few nickel projects out there, but that one there looks to me like it's getting ready to go. Next we're going to do is NEO, and many chart requests on this one. It's one that I've actually been watching for ages, since it was delisted. And I always had that blue box reversal zone down there at 0.59, and then this red box here, and which was spot on. So, the chart is working. And where do I think that's heading? Well, it needs to break and hold above about 1.5 pence, break and hold above that, and that would activate this the red box zone up here at 2.01 would be my first point of call. 2.42 would be my second, but we're in a bull market, so we should be hitting the top of the box and maybe beyond. So, and it's basically 3 pence. That's 2 bags from where we are today, and possibly even higher. And I don't normally do this, but I'm going to just nip onto Miles McNulty's tweet here, where he says NEO is up 17% of the day. Worth highlighting that the only analyst covering the stock, Shore Capital, has a target price of 13 pence versus the current 1p, which it was, I think, it's just over that at the moment. The price deck used was gold at 3,200 and uranium at £85. Gold is currently trading at 4,900, and I think it's going to go to 5,500. And uranium at $86. So he's saying 13p is far too low. Well, yeah, maybe. I think that once we get the retail punters, and I think like we see with Bitcoin and all that sort of jazz over the last few years, we're going to see some remarkable runs. We haven't even got started yet. So 13, 14, 15 pence probably could be true, but let's just concentrate on the first target here. So I think that let's get to 2 pence. Once you get there, probably see a bit of resistance, probably not too much, but I think I think you should be attacking 3p. So always going to see a bit of resistance of round numbers, but breaking hold above that 2, then we're off 3 pence next target. So that's NEO Energy Metals, well worth doing some research. And for me, it's only had one wave to the upside, in my opinion. So, and those who follow me know that I work in waves. It's looking good to go. And that's where I see that going. So, put it on your watch list, do some research. The next one I'm going to do is TYM, and absolutely belted out of the stables block on Monday morning, didn't it? But that first plunge call, which I originally highlighted in my focus, which I did, I think it was just after Christmas and just during Christmas period, it hit that. So we've had a bit of a pullback, but that's going to go again. A 95% probability that's going to run again. And for me, that's going to hit at least 14.7, 0.1735. But, I think it's going to hit a 0.2 pence. So I think there's a bag, at least in TYM at the moment. I think you see a bit of turbulence around there because I think that the convertible loan note, once it's traded 2 or 3 days above that level, it has to convert into shares. So, but I think 0.2 is nailed on there. So there's no guarantees in this world, but we're definitely going to see 95% probability we're going to see another high in that one. So what did we tag there? We tagged 13.5. So I would be surprised if we don't see 17. Well, it's 0.1735 I think is nailed on, and most probably 0.207. Maybe a bit higher, but I think that TYM, I think there's a lot more for that to run. In the longer term, as I said before in my recent podcast, I've got much bigger targets, but I won't go into those today. Let's get to that one first and then reassess the situation. But TYM, I think that's going to go fairly soon. Next we're going to do is Rock, and this one here is it's a silver play. And, it's just outside my blue box reversal zone there. It's tagged it, but, I don't think it's going to go any lower. I think that, we're going to see another leg to the upside. And it's from a long-term reversal zone, which was this blue box here, which again with another correct call. So 2 correct calls so far, which is superb. So we've had one wave. I'm expecting another. Silver is over $100 an ounce. And look at the share price. It's not budged. That doesn't make any sense. And of course, once people realise what's going on, silver's still got loads more upside. So these little minerals, they're going to fly. For me, we need to break and a hold above sort of 0.32 area. Once we've done that, we're going to activate this box here. And I think the minimum we're going to see there is a 0.4, basically, and then 0.5 and 0.6. That's basically where I'm going to call that. So that's at least 1.5 bags, up to 3, isn't it? Plus. So Rockfire Resources, worth doing some research on that one. And we've covered that off a few times. And, it's offering a fantastic entry, in my opinion, right now. So worth doing some research. And look at those returns. I mean, amazing. ATM is my next one, and we covered this one off during the week. We said that we were expecting that blue box there. So we called that really well. So yeah, doesn't matter. Another one we covered really well. People still be doubters, but you can doubt it, but the charts don't lie. There we go. So I think here we got 1.17. That was my first point of call. This is in play, so it's it's going to go there at 1.355 and possibly 1.595. We're in a bull market. It should go to the top of that box. Why not? Maybe even higher. But that would be my first target. Then reassess the situation. But yeah, ATM, I think that's going higher. Well done, those holders. VAL is my next one, and chart request. Just get that one up. Where do I think that's heading? Well, it's a bit of a difficult one. We've had that gap fill here at 0.45. That's done, dusted. So, got rid of those traders. So gap fill plays. But, my first point of call there, well, I think, if we can break and hold above sort of 0.44, so not too far from where we are at the moment, then I think this red box will come into play at 0.6. Then we're sort of 0.7, isn't it? And probably 0.8. I don't know too much about the company, so I can't really comment. But what's really interesting is there's a much bigger gap up here at 1.4. That's a lot of return on that one. So, definitely worth doing some research on the company fundamentals there. So we filled one gap. Can it go and fill the second? Who knows? It's good news out of the company. There's a really good, well-researched individual in there. So do some research, have a look at it. But that would be my first point of call. But in all probability, if it's going to have some game-changing news, then it's going to be that gap fill there, and that'd be 1.4 pence. I'm going to be doing my research. There you go. Next one I'm going to do is ITM, and this one, another chart request. So this one here, it's a pretty of a ITM. I really like ITM, but it's been a bit disappointed of late. But basically, if we break that 56.8, we're going to go into this red box here at 51.9 down to 40.55. We've certainly had one wave there, so I'm expecting another, and that'd be a really good reversal zone. But there's no guarantees that it's going to go and break that. It could stay where it is at the moment. Risk reward, even an entry today, looks really good. So because even if it did go down there, then we'd expect at least three ways to the upside. So I don't think you'd lose money, or in all probability you shouldn't. But it's no guarantees, of course. So do your own research. But if we stay above this low here and we break this high here at 98.4. That's going to bring us to 130.4 up to 150.2. And pretty much the chart wouldn't alter that much if it went down to that red box zone there, which would be a superb entry if that did materialise. So ITM, well worth doing some research on that one. So, it's a green tech play, isn't it? Hydrogen, I believe. But, it could be... a good bagger or so at least in that one. So yeah, excellent one. THX is my next one, and because I called this wrong last time, and so I'm going to cover it off again. I thought we were going to get another leg to the downside. It's just a bit stupid, really, because that's just looking at the chart, but it's a gold producer. So gold's flying, and of course it was going to go higher. Got it wrong. Hands up. But where do you think that's heading? Well. It's going to go to £1, isn't it? I've got here a blue box, 115 up to 132 up to 154. And I know BBN is a big bite now on Twitter X, is a holder there. He's very well researched, worth having a read of his post. But yeah, I agree. I think gold's going to 5,500. And that's going to continue up, isn't it? If it's producing gold, the profits are going up. It's a cracker. So yeah, that's where I think that THS is headed. Got that wrong last week. Hopefully that's going to be correct this time. ORR is my next one, and this one's a chart request from last week. Actually, somebody, and it's a really good chart. In the fact that got a blue box reversal zone at 0.219, and we've seen the reaction to the upside. But where's that heading? Well, it gets loads of massive amount of selling above this sort of 0.5 level, doesn't it? But I had that blue box there at 0.64, but I think we'll say that that's done and dusted. So, if it can break and hold above that 0.5 level, should hopefully then go on a run. And that would bring me to this red box here. It's 0.714 up to 0.85 up to 1 pence. I don't know what it mines, or so I've not researched it that much, but I think it's gold, but I could be wrong. So worth doing some research. But, if it is top of the box, that's a couple of bags. So ORR, another one to do your research on. BRES is my next one, and we call that spot on. I've changed my red box now to a blue box. We had that long-term reversal zone down there, which is spot on again, and whatever, we've called that one right. But I think we're going to see a run, and I think top of that box there, 10.75. That's where I think get to 10.75, reassess the situation. But I think that this is probably, and then hopefully we get it. Well, so hopefully, then maybe we will get a pullback in a couple of ways. But we'll see how that one plays out once you get to the top of that blue box there. But yeah, excellent call, and well done those holding. Ton is my next one, and I tell you what, stellar. I think Dave Roberts has called this one, and it's been a holder. I think it was holding from about 2 pence level. He's done really well out of that. But where's that headed? Well, it broke that prior high during the week, and it's going up. And for me, 22.7, 26.8, 32.1. And bull market should be the top of the box. So that's potentially, and it's in play. I don't know why I've got that red box. Should be a blue box. Sorry about that. But, that's in play. It should go there. So, 22.7, easy money. 26.8 should be just easy money. 32.1, yeah. Should go there. CAML is my next one. And Central Asia Metals. And this one here, I had a reversal zone down there, which I've covered off before, 139.4, so another correct call. Where I think I said it needs to break and hold above this 228 pence. But if it does, which, it could well go there, couldn't it? But once it's broken that level there, it's going to activate this red box, and it's going to be heading up to 299.5 to 346. Bull market, 405 pence. That's a bagger, potentially, from where it is today. So, and that's it's a fairly big cap, isn't it? But worth doing some research on. CAML. GANA is my next one, and this one was formerly Mobile Streams. Not a lot of trading data, but I've kind of gone back through the Mobile Streams data to come up with a target, because originally I called that as a 0.65 as the tops, and then it got suspended right at the top. And then it came back, it's capital raised. I can't remember the price it's done, so you need to do research on that one. But and then it's had a massive fallback, and but in actual fact, I think it 15 bagged from where it was at the time. So the pullback it's had is fairly healthy. It's not going to help those holding, of course, but but where do I think that's heading? Well, you're going to need to do your research on this one, because it wasn't one of my fan favourites personally, but and I was invested a long time ago in Mobile Streams, to do research note on it actually. But if it breaks that 0.66 level, which I think was the high in Mobile Streams, the recent high, when it got suspended, then it would activate that red box there at 0.846 up to 1p and then 1.22. So, there is potentially an awful lot of reward there at Gana Media Group. But as I say, you've got to do research on that one. There we go. You know what? I'd like to get Mark Epstein, I think it is. I'd interview him. Listening, Mark, get in touch. There you go. ATOM is my next one. And let's have a look here. This one here is, I got a blue box reversal zone there, 32.2, correct. I think, if we can break that 75 pence level, should bring us up to 89, up to 101.5, to 117. You're always going to get turbulence at 100p. Everybody's going to, it's going to be a mental target for loads of people. So you're going to see turbulence there. So, there is bigger targets. No point discussing them today. Let's get to that. You'll probably see that go 117 pence. Might even go a bit higher, but I think you'll see a bit of a bit of a tug of war between the bulls and bears there at 100 pence. But probably shouldn't be. But that's just the way the game works. Next one I'm going to do is AMRQ, and this one here is It got into my red box zone there. It's 134.06. It probably looks like it's running out of steam a little bit, but 151.8 would be my next target, and 174.38. I don't know anything about AMRQ to comment, but if it's a resource stock, which I don't think it is, but it might be. So it should be the top of the box. But there you go. Do research. WSBN is my last one for today. I'm going to do another one podcast hopefully for Monday morning. We'll see how we go. But this one here. Well, my first point of call there, you need to break and hold above 108 pence roughly. Once you do that, it'd be headed to 148.2, 171.6. For me, it should be due another leg to the upside. So, and if it could break and hold above 190 pence, would activate this red box here. So it'd give you 260 pence, 320 pence, 396 pence. But they're going to need to have really good results, I would have thought, to activate that. But I haven't followed the story of late, but we've called that well. And as I say, from that blue box, I would expect a couple of ways to the upside. So you've only had one, that's your corrective phase. So I think that should be nailed on, but there's no guarantees. But as I say, then if you could sort of break above that and break and hold above 190 pence, it's going to activate that red box zone there. So fingers crossed for holders that there's some stellar results from those drills. There you go. That's me for Saturday. Have a great weekend all. Back again soon.